The Lilongwe Magistrate's Court has released Shepherd and Mary Bushiri. The two handed themselves over to Malawi authorities on Wednesday morning. They were kept in custody overnight. It's now emerged the couple's arrest is illegal and they will be released from custody with immediate effect. ETV reporter Pule Lechwiti has all the very latest on this and he joins us now. Pule, what exactly was the state prosecutor's argument in Malawi?
Well, a very good evening, Sally. And we were just waiting and watching and following the proceedings throughout the whole day, where Shepherd Bushiri and his wife Mary did appear before the Lilongwe Magistrate Court, and there were hundreds of supporters outside actually in favor of him and supporting him, showing solidarity. But what the state prosecutor argued here was that this is a couple that has already contravened their bail application and of course conditions in South Africa. What makes you think they wouldn't do the same here in Malawi if they are granted bail? And those were some of the arguments she was posing before the state prosecutor, saying there could be flight risk as well, and that there are certain precautionary legal steps that have to be taken into consideration by the magistrate to ensure that she does not just grant them bail, and making sure that if indeed they are granted bail or are released, then they will not skip the country. So she was very cautious just around that principle over there.
Yeah, well, judging by our experience, that's a pretty strong argument, because that's exactly what they did, is skip bail. So why did the magistrate rule in favor of the Bushiris?
Well, quite clear, Sally, what we've been told is that making his judgment, the acting chief resident did say that the arrest was legal since the warrant of arrest wasn't channeled through the Ministry of the Homeland Security in Malawi. Now, there's also been quite a lot of questions as to whether was that Interpol warrant of arrest issued out and was it received by the Malawian authorities. And furthermore, what has been also the big debate here, Sally, is that it's surrounding the red notice issue, which will then say that these are fugitives and they have to be apprehended pending the extradition process. Now, you see, there's quite a lot of discrepancies that have been there in terms of was the Malawian government actually in the right call to actually say that they were following the steps and having to ensure that this Interpol warrant of arrest was then the accurate one before arresting the couple in Lilongwe.
It's interesting because, of course, our Justice Minister, speaking at the post-cabinet meeting, saying that they've activated the Interpol red alert, they've issued that arrest warrant. Is the fact that the couple apparently has a diplomatic status in Malawi, has that got anything to do with the fact that they were released?
Definitely. That has also quite a lot to do with it. I mean, we've heard yesterday in terms of the comparison of the Constitution, the normal Constitution, and the Section 77, which then says that under Section 77, the only way they can be extradited is if they've committed treason or murder, right? And that's one of the things that have been compared there together. But just getting off the phone with the Minister of Information in Malawi, Gospel Kazako. Now, he says to me, look, we will explain to you just in about 20 minutes as to what was the correct reason for this adjustment. And furthermore, you'd remember, just to go back a bit, Sally, what he was saying is that we are quite confident that we will ensure in every way forward that this couple will not skip the country if they are released with bail conditions. Now, what we're hearing from the court is that they have been released and the arrest was illegal. So it will be quite interesting to see what unfolds there throughout the night with the judgment there having been handed in Lilongwe, Malawi.
Hule, do keep us posted, because I'm due to speak to Justice Minister Ronald Lamola. Am I correct in my understanding that there's two possible issues at play here in them being released? First of all, it could be that the red alert from Interpol wasn't correctly issued, or there was something wrong with the arrest warrant for South Africa, and it is the fact that they have diplomatic status in Malawi. Is that correct?
Definitely. Those are the kind of challenges that there could be at play here. And just to allude to what you've just said, Sally, one of them being that, there wasn't the correct documentation that was channeled through to the ministry in Malawi in terms of having to make sure that they followed the correct processes. And that's what was one of the challenges. And again, submissions by Shepherd Bushiri's defense there in court today. But furthermore, that the diplomatic, documentation there as well and status in the country coming into play here as well at huge advantage, making the situation entirely tricky, Sally.
Well, Pule, sweetie, I'll let you get back to hammering the phones and trying to get the very latest news around what the Bushiris are up to now that they've been released from custody in Malawi. So do keep us us posted. Thank you very much for that update. And now to this story. Just like